If you're a horror fan, you're in for a spine-chilling tale. This story is not for the faint of heart, so gather your courage and prepare yourself for a journey into the unknown. This is the story of the house on Willow Street, a place shrouded in mystery and fear. For decades, it stood as a silent sentinel, watching over the street with its darkened windows and overgrown garden. The old Victorian house on Willow Street had a reputation. It was said to be cursed, a place where the supernatural thrived. The house had seen many owners come and go, each leaving with tales of terror and unexplained phenomena. Locals whispered tales of strange noises, cold drafts, and shadowy figures lurking in the attic. The stories were enough to keep most people away, but not everyone was deterred. Some were drawn to the house, intrigued by its dark history. But Sarah and Ben, a young couple, were captivated by its charm and affordable price. They saw potential where others saw only fear. The house was a fixer-upper, but they were ready for the challenge. They moved in, laughing off the spooky stories as nothing more than old wives' tales. They were excited to start their new life together, and the house seemed like the perfect place to do it. But soon, the house had other plans. It wasn't long before strange things began to happen. At first, it was small things, like the sound of footsteps when no one was there. Late at night, footsteps creaked on the stairs, even when they were alone. The sound was unmistakable, and it sent chills down their spines. Objects vanished, only to reappear in the most unexpected places. And the chill, it was a cold draft on the warmest days, making their skin crawl. No matter how many blankets they used, they could never seem to get warm. A cold draft on the warmest days, making their skin crawl. It was as if the house itself was alive, breathing icy air into their home. One night with Ben away, Sarah heard a faint scratching noise coming from the attic. She tried to ignore it, but the sound grew louder and more insistent. Heart-pounding, she climbed the creaky stairs. Each step seemed to echo through the house, amplifying her fear. At the top, she froze. The attic was dark, and the air was thick with an oppressive silence. A shadowy figure stood at the end of the attic, its eyes glowing an eerie red. It was unlike anything she had ever seen, and it filled her with a primal fear. Sarah screamed, fleeing down the stairs as the figure chased her. She could feel its presence behind her, a cold, malevolent force. When Ben returned, he found Sarah huddled in a corner, shaking uncontrollably. She told him everything, her voice trembling with fear. They knew they had to leave. The house was no longer a home. It was a place of terror. They couldn't stay another night. That very night, they packed their bags and drove away, never looking back. The house loomed behind them, a dark silhouette against the night sky. As they glanced at the house one last time, its windows were dark and menacing. It was as if the house was watching them leave, its malevolent presence still palpable. They knew they'd made the right choice. The relief they felt was overwhelming, and they vowed never to return. So, if you ever come across the house on Willow Street, remember Sarah and Ben's story. It's a place where the supernatural reigns, and where fear is a constant companion. Some places are better left alone. The house on Willow Street is one of those places. Its dark history and malevolent presence make it a place to be avoided at all costs. So, heed this warning. If you ever find yourself on Willow Street, steer clear of the old Victorian house. It's a place where nightmares come to life, and where the past refuses to stay buried.